Hello, everybody. How's it going? It's Indie Game Happy Hour once again. Today I'm drinking Sap House. I'll show it to you. This guy. It's by Oxbow Brewing Company out of Newcastle, Maine. It's a smoked dark lager brewed with Maine maple syrup, which honestly I don't know if I've ever read a beer description that felt so perfect for me other than that one. Of like smoked, it's a dark lager, and it's got maple syrup. Yeah, that's the vibe. That's absolutely the vibe 100% of the time. Although I actually haven't had any yet. It's real good. It's real good. Not gonna lie. It reminds me a lot of like I think they're called a rock beer, like a smoky or dark beer. Very good. What do y'all think of the changes on the channel? Did some renovations. Moved some stuff around, added some music. Let me know if you can see the playlist that's playing. I should have it set up so that any of the music that I play via Spotify while I'm live should just like bump down into a playlist in that extension just below the stream. But let me know. Decided to add something nice and chill. I really love lo-fi. It's such a good genre to just do anything to, honestly. Of like, I use it a lot to just sit and work to, because I'm the kind of person who gets really distracted whenever I'm like working on stuff, especially for a long time. And so I like to have music or like a show that I know really well on in the background. And lately it's been a lot of lo-fi. Um, just a very good genre in general. Love it a lot. Today we're playing Pyre, which is a game that, unlike most of the other games I've played so far on the channel, of like with Moon Hunters last week for Indie Game Happy Hour, I know that game pretty well. I dug a lot of time into that game, and with Bloodborne, man, that is a game that I love dearly, and so I have done like a deep dive on a lot of lore, and I've played it a bunch of times over. But Pyre is the first game we're playing on stream that I'm actually not super familiar with. So that will be interesting. I have played this game before, and we're just going to be doing some campaign mode stuff, just kind of keeping it casual, hanging out. I think the thing I like most about this game is that it fills a kind of void of. I remember when I was a kid growing up, I loved sports games, but not like what you would think of as like Madden or FIFA or what have you. I'm talking about like when I was really little, I would play the backyard sports games. And I miss those so much. Of just like these very cool casual sports games that weren't about like, oh, you have to know the professional sport, you have to know all the players, what have you. It was just like, yeah, it's just a game about playing sports, and that's it. Um, and Pyre is like kind of a sports game in disguise. It's this really cool story heavy game with like a lot of spiritual elements and whatnot. But mostly the mechanics of it are just you manage a sports team and then play games. So it's a cool game. I'm really excited to play it. I think Supergiant is one of the best like little indie developers out there. They did this, Bastion, Hades, just incredible company, and like all of the art of this game especially really sticks out to me, and like you can see it a little bit in the corner. I've got the game footage going just because I love this title screen so much. It's really, really pretty. It's just a good game. Yeah. So let me know what you think of the changes to the channel. I'm looking forward to it. I had a lot of headaches over the weekend, which is why I ended up having to cancel Saturday's stream. Originally, I was planning to just push it to Sunday, but then I ended up doing a lot of work on like redoing some layouts and trying to get a particular game to capture, and it just wouldn't do it. And so I spent like 2 days just troubleshooting that before I found a workaround. So we'll be playing that game later in the week, but I wanted to keep it nice, calm, casual for the Monday happy hour stream. So that's what we're doing. Later in the week, we'll be playing Pokemon Showdown. So for those of you that don't know, I used to play competitive Pokemon for probably 4 to 6 years. I fell off after Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. I played a little bit in that meta, and then kind of lost interest, and I didn't have a whole lot of time because I was finishing college and like starting into the real world at that point. So I fell off, but I used to play a good bit of competitive Pokemon, and so on Wednesday we're going to be digging into that, and hopefully y'all enjoy it. I am introducing myself to the Sword and Shield metagame. We'll be playing Smogon singles formats on Wednesday, so basically that's not the Nintendo official like VGC rules. It's all of the stuff on Showdown. And personally, I've always enjoyed singles metagames more than doubles, and like especially VGC. I think VGC is a cool format. I liked the team building challenge that singles provided. So I actually used to be a monotype player, so we'll be digging pretty deep into monotype, and then a couple of other singles formats that I played a little bit of. Some of them I really enjoyed, some of them I didn't for one reason or another, but we'll dig into that then. Yeah, but let me know what you think of the channel. We've got a couple of panels down there that are new. The Spotify panel that should tell you what we're listening to. It should like add the songs one by one. If it's not, let me know. We also have a suggestion box, so any games that you want me to play on stream, or any suggestions, or just general comments and feedback, I'd love to hear it. Go ahead and drop it in the suggestion box. So I will take a look at those, and the way it works is I'll have to go through and either approve or delete posts. So like obviously if you are putting anything inappropriate in there, I'll probably delete it. But like if you have a great suggestion, I'll make it public so that people can kind of like it or be like, nah, I don't agree, and get your feedback kind of that way. So that's what's going on there. Yeah, but let me know. I put a good bit of work into revamping most of the Twitch page over the weekend, and I still do have an editing backlog. I had some issues uploading to YouTube, but I do have, I think at this point, 3 streams that are edited and ready to go up when YouTube decides to behave. So the archive will be updated throughout the week so that y'all can catch up on any streams that you missed. And in the meantime, you can always watch the VODs here for as long as they're up. Yeah, so that's the deal there. I think we're just gonna fade out on the music a little bit. And we're gonna go ahead and get some of the game music up and running. This game has such incredible music. You can buy this whole soundtrack. Totally worth it. It's just like, it's so interesting, and what I have been told, so this game came really highly recommended to me from a good friend of mine, and basically part of why I decided to play it was I thought, one, it's a good casual indie game, maybe I can even do some versus mode stuff in the future, but we're just gonna be doing some campaign mode, because apparently further you get into this game, the more interesting it gets, and there's a lot of really cool character development and all of that. So, yeah, we're gonna dig into it. Check out Pyre. So, cheers. Let's get down to it. You'll notice I have a couple of profiles on this game from when I was practicing earlier. Make sure I remember how to play the game. Also, the camera will block some of the text, but I'm gonna go ahead and read it out for y'all, so no worries. Another thing I really like about this game, and you'll see it here in a second, I just want to like pause on this title screen real quick, because like, look at how nice and pretty it is, even though this whole game is about wastelands. I really like the way this game presents information to you as a player, because it'll highlight terms that you're not familiar with. So, like here, downside. So your days in the downside brought slow, lonesome agony. Now as you lie yielding to the elements, something rumbles into view. 3 shapes emerge, each clad in strange attire. I really like this whole mechanic of like, it'll just highlight a term that you may not know the definition of, and it just gives you a little blurb about it. Downside, a vast purgatory into which the Commonwealth casts its convicts and its enemies. None have been known to return from the Forsaken Land. Another piece of filth expelled from the Commonwealth. See, right on schedule. What'd I tell you? You told us we would find someone alive. Someday. I said we'd find someone alive someday. Just not today, I guess. But don't be glum. You know I see you frowning underneath that mask. Now let's see how long I can keep some of these voices up. This is also really cool. I like that, like, this is how you can choose gender options in this game, of you just interact with the dialogue. Masked Man just says, looks like she's breathing, but you can just click it, looks like he's breathing, looks like they're breathing, and you can just scroll through all those options. I love that. I think that that's a really clever way to do it without stopping and being like, Alright, time to assign all of the traits to your character. It seems like they still are. Then stand aside, I shall send them to a better place. A better place? Name me a single better place than this. Hang on. Their markings on their rags. I think they're one of them. But look at them. They are beyond our help, and we are beyond theirs. Broken? Shaken? Starving? Probably diseased? Yeah, good luck with that there, chum. See you back in the wagon. Indeed. The day grows dim. You have at best an hour. Understood. I won't be long. As the others leave, the man turns toward you and begins unfastening his mask. Hello, my friend. Don't care who you are or what you did, none of that matters anymore. All of us, we're equal nothings here. It's an interesting idea of, like, this whole kingdom, in their, like, mercy, casts people into these endless wastelands that apparently used to be filled with all kinds of monsters and crazy stuff. And so now it's just this whole really difficult to live in landscape of mysticism and spirituality. And I like this idea that, yeah, now that you're here, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what your crime was, from like the highest crimes to the lowest crimes. You're just hanging out. You are parched and he gives you a drink. You ache and he binds your wounds. You hunger and he gives you food. Little by little, it helps. There. Turns out you're tougher than you look. Name's Hedwyn. Now come on. Hedwyn, he is one of the 3 masked wanderers who found you clinging to life in the downside. And the thing that I really like about this is, like, it'll give you more and more hints towards the character if you constantly go over it later in the campaign. You sense no ill intent as he helps you up and leads you to an old black wagon. Nothing like the stately vessels that paraded the Commonwealth criminals through alabaster streets. So, again, the Commonwealth is like the main country. A proud country risen from the ashes of a fallen empire, home to a multitude of ethnic groups, founded on principles of mercy and kinship, whose exact meanings have evolved through many centuries. Good afternoon! Hello, Trouble Twitch. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome, welcome. Today we're playing Pyre. Beckons you into the black wagon. How you doing, Trouble Twitch? The weather-beaten wagon is as much a mess inside as out. You see the masked woman and the talkative creature taking stock of ancient-looking books. I'm back. And with a guest. She loosens the clasps on her mask. You may call me Joe Drea. Doing fine, you? I'm doing pretty good. I got my happy hour drink here. I'm drinking Sap House. Oh, there we go. Sap House. From Oxbow Brewing. Very delicious. Help me forget about filing for unemployment. Will do, drops the Michael. Will do. Get your drink, sit back, relax, we're gonna play some Pyre. Also, just a little note here. If you can't quite hear it, each of the characters has a little bit of their own theme going on. And it always plays just a little bit in with the bass music when they're talking to you. Which is a piece of sound design that is just so incredible. The small one struggles with his mask. Jodriel soon assists him. Ow! That is to say, you may regard me by the name of Rookie Greentail. I love Rookie. Rookie's the best. Such pleasantries out of the way, the horned woman then motions to the others. She glances you sidelong as she speaks. Think I found a game you guys might want to look into, Risk of Rain. So I don't own Risk of Rain, but it is a game that I've thought about picking up a number of times. I'm probably not going to pick up the first one at this point. I'd probably just pick up Risk of Rain 2. But that's definitely something that I've thought about getting, because looks real good. Looks real good, honestly. Can they do it? Hope so. Haven't asked them yet. What? Then what are we waiting for? Hey, you chum. Nice meeting you and all, but tell me something. You know how to read or what? He's asking if you are a reader. One who can derive meaning from text. So here's the deal. Literacy has been prohibited for centuries. Those with knowledge of the old ways violate the law of the land. So we can assume, for the most part, that this is the crime that got you kicked out of the Commonwealth, is that you can read. I'm just gonna admit it. No point. No point in denying it. You confirm their suspicions. There's no use trying to hide it now. Well then, glory days, because it just so happens my associates and we got ourselves some nice material here for someone just like you. Reader, you still live thanks to us. We ask for something modest in exchange. Open one of those books back there and tell us what it says. Sorry to put you on the spot like this, my friend. The exiles indicate the books in their possession. Strange book, one of several such heavy, ominous volumes. The exiles you've met seem very interested in them. What's everyone doing and drinking? Let me know. Join me. It's Monday. It's quarantine. I have a couple of friends who have been saying that quarantine rules are like airplane rules. Sorry, airport rules of like, yeah, it doesn't matter what time of day it is. You get those drinks. You get whatever food you want. Just go for it. No point in holding back now. You're drinking water? Yeah! You're out! Drops the Michael, no! We'll have to get you some drinks. Although I suppose Trouble Twitch and you can both drink water, and then I will be the delinquent. Pick up one of the old and heavy tomes, found in materials you don't recognize. Alright. So, I love this, because in theory, you could try and read it, like, normally. But they give you this nice little button to look at it in a more reasonable text. So this is the foreword. A formal welcome, undersigned by the 8 scribes. You, dear reader, are an exile of the downside, such as we, the 8 who wrote this book of rights. That you possess it and have capacity to glean its words is a testament enough to your potential. Thus, we reveal a path from this forsaken place to freedom, a homecoming in glory. The stars themselves shall be your guide. Ere the turning of the year's first solstice, seek the nearest longitude beneath the brightest of 8 as they align as shown. Arrive as a triumvirate, clad in the raiments of the rites, bearing this book. Oblige the voice that tells you more. So basically, magic ceremony by playing sports, you get to go free, which is pretty cool. Describes a complicated method through which exiles can return to the Commonwealth. Edwin gets your attention. Well, friend, what does it say? But then your vision starts to fade and blur. You feel your body weaken and give out. And then it teaches you how to actually play the game.
Reader, dare you tamper with forbidden knowledge? So soon after your
Finally,
sentence into exile,
some words I don't have to read.
'Tis true what the book says. You can be free again.
What difficulty are we on? Just standard.
But someone
I have not actually dug all that far into this game. Drops the Michael, so I'm just playing on standard difficulty.
The rights, the one way to return to glory. Though in your case, I hardly think it possible. Yet, by the grace of the scribes, it is my duty to inform you anyhow.
Y'all in the chat, let me know, is that, the audio is a bit quiet. Interesting. The game audio or the mic audio? Because on my end, the game audio is actually spiking out a little bit. But I am happy to turn it up if it's quiet. Hear nothing now. Trouble Twitch, is that the same for you? Better now. Oh, you were muted. LOL. Good on your end? Cool. Thanks. Thanks for letting me know. There's been a few weird but the end game could be a bit more. Alright. How about there? I'm trying not to push the Elgato audio too high up, because there's actually... I don't know if they've fixed it yet, but Streamlabs had like a weird compatibility issue where the Elgato would like spike out, and then the audio would just go like really, really crunchy. So let me know if that's happening to either of y'all, or if it's just my headphones. Alright. Yeah, but what now, and where'd the reader go? They should be out there still. For now, we have to put our faith in them. They could abandon us. They won't. These people have a lot of faith in you. You look upon the three of them from beyond as Hedwyn then calls out to you. Reader, we aim to free ourselves. We will not grow old and die in the downside. And now I swear to you, when we get out of here, you're going to come with us. But first, we need your help. Show us the way. Freedom. You focus all your mental faculties to do as Hedwyn asks.
A celestial orb falls from the heavens when the time is nigh. Exiles conduct the rites as a triumvirate, for they must prove their trust in one another, not just in themselves. The three must act as one.
So this is where the game gets really interesting. You can only move one character at a time, and you essentially pass control back and forth. And we get R2 sprint. On Jodreel, we get this dash move, which is really cool.
Now plunge into the pyre with the orb and be purified. Yes, the exiled Edwin has the way of it. Whoever steps into the flame is banished.
And of course, after scoring a point, you are disadvantaged by one player.
Make do on their own. Oh, but it is not so simple. In the rites, you shall face adversaries whose own freedom is at stake. Beware the aura that surrounds them, as they shall beware yours. The aura is your wrongdoing. Accept it as a part of you.
I was playing this game earlier, and my partner pointed out that the voice who teaches you how to play this game sounds like the Shame Wizard from Big Mouth.
Correctly done.
And he kinda does.
Again.
Oop. Missed that.
Just so. A glorious performance, I admit. More than I expected from the likes of you. Grasp the orb once more. The orb absorbs the aura. Then the orb quenches the flame. Now I say jump. Leap with all your strength.
So, a very interesting game.
Now snuff out the adversary's pyre whilst yours yet burns. Jodariel doused the adversary's flames. The orb is up. The orb engulfed in fire.
So this is basically how the game gets played. As you play it one at a time, you can jump, you can pass, you can dash, you've got stamina, you can also fling the orb.
An unimpressive thrust, but true.
Which is kind of cool. Oop.
Unfortunate for the Beyonders.
Yeah, so that's the basis of Pyre. Is basically the deal. You get jump, you get fling, you get pass. You also get a mechanic called salute, and that's on triangle.
I would tell you to turn back.
And it's kind of like a taunt, I guess. Some characters have mechanics attached to it, but it's pretty simple overall.
You never listen.
And then the rest of the game is pretty much just like preparing for these rites. This game's dope, yeah. I really enjoy this game, despite the fact that I've never invested enough time into it, I think. Because it's so good. Well, that was something.
No minor else.
That was our way out.
Sundaše Miloše.
So now we just follow the stars, or what?
Torathoste.
Supposedly. Reader, come, let us regard the night. Gotten around to watching anime on Netflix called Beastars Trouble Twitch. I've like heard good things. I've also seen clips that make me think otherwise. Or at least it's weird. I've been watching a lot of like docu-series, especially after Tiger King. You watched about half of it, Drops the Michael. It's solid. Okay. Alright, I trust that. If I got 2 people in chat telling me to watch Beastars, I'll have to give it a try. Been watching a lot of docu-series after Tiger King. I watched HBO's The Jinx, which is a docu-series about Robert Durst. Have you checked out The Studio? What do you mean the Studio? Drops the Michael.
Solishamta.
If Beastars isn't your cup of tea, there's always Seinfeld. That's a pretty good anime. I have to catch up on Castlevania. Oh, the studio who did Beastars' previous show. I don't know what studio did it, so I don't know what their previous show would be. Now show us, before the Howlers catch our scent. Where shall the rites commence? And then, of course, we get another little highlight. An ancient ritual competition through which the worthiest exiles regain their freedom. The 8 scribes gave their freedoms so that we may yet have ours. Prayer from the Book of Rites. Land of the Lustrous. I have not heard of that. What's the deal with it? Like, what's it about? Oh, I gotta do work. I gotta find the star. Trouble Twitch should check it out. Yeah, everyone give their anime recs. Anime recs in chat. Now required. You all have to tell me what your favorite anime is.
Concilia.
Headed to the Ridge of Goal. Great. And we're supposed to be there when, exactly? Very soon, according to the stars. You should be able to arrive in time if you make haste.
Indaratarios.
That was weird. Wrong pipe. Alright, then we had best get started. Well, this ought to be good for a few laughs at least. What do you say, Jody? Jodriel turns to you, studying you. Reader, do not deceive us. Pray we make good use of our remaining time. What she means is, glad to have you aboard, chum. People made of minerals and rocks. That sounds like a dope show. We're counting on... We're counting on you, my friend. See you inside. Freedom. The rights are the key. It is a lot to take in. It's very strange. Yeah, that makes sense. Based on the clips I've seen from Beastars, that studio seems to do strange things. Oh yeah, I should finish Rakugo. Anyone in the chat who hasn't seen Showagen Rakugo Shinju, do it. It's amazing. It's a really, really good anime. It's about Japanese theater. That's all you really need to know. It's great. You'll enjoy it. Alright, you arrive in the Downside Prairie, one of the Downside's only verdant regions. It only gets less hospitable as you press further north. Where the road ahead is forked, there is a lack of consensus about which way to proceed. I'm telling you, we ought to take the northern pass. Got an associate holed up in Hollow Root, an exile encampment. I've got to pay a visit to. Besides, fie on your associate. Best we head to Blooming Pool. Swamps. Well, hot springs, but like not hot springs that you can actually like sit in and like bathe in and avoid attention. And get stuck in a bog while we're at it. The dispute continues as Headwind listens for a while. What if the readers settled this? They mark the way, we get us there. If these rites are meant to test our faith, then we'd best learn to trust the reader's instincts on our path. No second guessing them along the way. Can we all live with that for now? Yeah, sure. If necessary. Then it's settled. Just point the way, my friend. The stars guide us through you. Alright, weigh the options. So we can either go through Blooming Pool, where we can find rare flora, or we go through Hollow Root, where Rookie knows someone who owes him a favor. Trouble Twitch says, one of the best animes I've watched in recent years is Drake and Josh. Not an anime, come on. But a good show. I'm gonna go through Hollow Root. As you press through the squalid little area, you hear boisterous voices coming from what looks to be a public house. Rookie stumbles forth from it, holding something in his paws. Oh, hey chum, just wrapping up a real important exchange back there. Hang on to this for me, will you? We'll have to drop it off if we head further north. Got a plain parcel. Can be sold at the slug market. Certain types of luxury goods somehow find their way down to the downside. So this is our first hint that Rookie might just be a smuggler. I love the like watercolor aesthetic of this game. I said it before on the title menu, but I feel like I have to say it again. All of the art in this game, and honestly most Supergiant games in general, just incredible. Black Wagon grinds to a stop at the base of the Ridge of Goal. So the deal with the Ridge of Goal is, according to the stars, the next rite shall be here. The fossil remains of the Serpent Titan slain by Golothanian, yet loom over the living in its shadow. So that's the other deal, is pretty much all of the 8 scribes that we talk about throughout the game slay some sort of titan that used to live in the downside. We can see what the deal is in our wagon. So over here we've got a Greentail family portrait, a reasonable likeness of younger Rookie with his mother and uncle, which is so nice. And we've got Headwind's cooking tins, what passes for cooking supplies on the downside. Headwind does most of the cooking. Jodriel's throw rug, which is a little hard to see because of, well, it's easier to see actually on your guys' end than it is on mine, because it's a little dark on mine. Fashion from a howler's hide sends their ilk a clear message. Jodriel says not to step on it. Rookie's the best, drops the Michael. Yeah, I agree. Rookie is my favorite by far. I love his little mustache. He's great. And then we have a new page in the Book of Rites. Alright. The first exile, in the words of Golothanian, the Master General. You know perhaps the thrice-cursed name of Solium Mur, the Emperor of Sar, the first exile, and my liege. So this is the first hint of Solium Mur was the emperor before things became the Commonwealth. It was an empire that fell due to essentially Solium's incompetence and selfishness. This chapter concerns him and those who found him in the downside. Each of us was sent to take his life. Such was the hatred for him in and around his country. Yet we found in Solium Mur a man transformed, in body, mind, and spirit, a man deserving of much more than mercy. In time he named us all his scribes, and he became the 8th. It is my greatest honor now to share with you his deeds. To know his story is to know the rights. And we can talk to Ruki. He has something on his mind. Hey, chum. I appreciate you taking us up through Hollow Root back there. About that. Are you certain that parcel will fetch us an adequate price at the slug market? Surely we could have procured some rare fungus had we gone the other way. As much as I love the idea of procuring rare fungus there, Jody, we said we wouldn't go around second-guessing our good chum's decisions, right? Jodriel says nothing in response, but soon changes the subject. Night falls soon. Come along, Greentail. We have much left to prepare. The two of them soon go about rummaging through the raiments and the books strewn about the wagon, leaving you to your own devices. And that's it for in here. For now, at least. There's more stuff in the wagon, and more and more gets added as people join. As darkness falls, your fellow exiles stand together, clad in the raiments of the rites. Preparations are set. However, everything is still and calm. Soon, they grow restless. Keep telling you there's nothing here. What a bunch of idiots we are. If we traveled all this way for nothing. I don't think we did. Look up. I find that loading screen so interesting because it feels almost out of place. It looks like an old, early, Windows Vista loading screen. I could totally see that as a screensaver on, a Windows Vista computer.
This eve shall be the Accusers. Whosever pyre yet burns once the other is extinguished shall step closer to freedom. Now let the rites commence.
Alright, here we go. First real match. The stars are aligned and your pyre burns bright. Across from your companions appear several others also clad in raiments, your adversaries in the rites. Everyone ready? Let's hope so. But still, we have a visitor. Oh, be still. Whoops. The one whom she refers to steps forward. At last, the Nightwings grace us with their presence. I see that the reports of your demise have been exaggerated after all. Even I was beginning to think you were gone for good. Nobody moves, save for the man robed in gold who unfastens his mask. Surprised to see old Lendl again? He's the leader of this triumvirate. I trust you remember my face, though you must have assumed never to see it again after last time. Never had I come so close to freedom, only for you to dash my hopes. Now I and the Accusers shall repay that affront. The Accusers are just the gold team. He shoves his mask back on and takes position with his comrades. It is time. From the shadows you clutch the Book of Rites and focus on the task at hand.
Begin!
Ah. Thought I could get away with it. Ah. Hit square too late.
Have the Accusers underestimated
Let's sport!
you?
Correct. I really wonder if there is a competitive scene for this game. That would be very interesting to see.
Edwin plunged into their fire.
I would love to see someone be like, oh yeah, there's totally a competitive scene. They get really intense about it. Hear me, Accusers, stand your ground, let your auras boil and rage.
It seems that you have flustered the Accusers.
Apparently we've flustered them, according to the very judgmental voice in the sky. We have rattled them. They mean to draw us out.
Arunca.
Then we'll just have to run more circles around them.
Have you any idea what that Lendl did to deserve his exile? Hmm?
So this is an interesting mechanic, and they kind of just let you get away with it here. But you just fling the orb into the pyre,
The orb into the flames like that.
and then you don't have to sacrifice a teammate. So that's totally a valid strategy. Ah.
Jodariel plunged into their fire.
And now they only have 5
End
left.
of the ceremony.
Come at me. Come at me, bro. You ain't got nothing.
And it is done. You have prevailed. Rejoice then in your single fleeting victory.
So negative. My single fleeting victory. I'm gonna go, I don't know how, I think it's 8 matches. I'm gonna go 8-0 this season. Me and the Nightwings. Your deceit may have earned you a hollow victory, but know this. The Accusers will not forget your wickedness, and when next we meet, you will rue the day.
Bask now in the wisdom of the scribes.
Yeah.
The exiled Jodariel has gained.
Alright, sweet.
enlightenment. Only the enlightened can regain.
So this is where the game gets really interesting. You get to build your players with like different buffs. So you've got one tree, which is Sins of the Fallen Emperor, Rites Masteries, enhancing a demon's strength and physical prowess. As he fell into the downside, Soliamur understand at last the consequences of his hedonistic reign. Then we also have Boons of the First Exile, Rites Masteries, enhancing a demon's spirit, and sheer force of will. The fallen Emperor Mur moved past his many failings as a man, achieving selflessness in exile. It's a little hard to read. some of the smaller text because the TV's like all the way over there. So we kind of get like a more aggressive like banishment tree for Jodrell, and then we also get a more like stamina based kind of faster tree. So like right now we're choosing between Relentless Vigor. After banishing an adversary, Jodrell instantly recovers all of her stamina. Pretty good. And then we also have Long Stride. After using her rush to lunge forward, Jodrell can rush again right away. So this is just double rush on Jodrell. It kind of depends on how you want to play the game. Again, like, I haven't gotten too far, so I'm not going to pretend like I know the best way to build. But this, to me, has always felt really, really useful. Because mobility is great, especially when Jodrell is so slow. But the other thing is, later on in the tree, we get really, really interesting skills. So like in this one, Jodrell can banish adversaries by flinging the orb into them, which is super cool. We also get landing from a jump. Jodrell briefly stuns nearby adversaries, making them drop the orb. So you can use like your jump to make your opponents drop the orb. And then after saluting adversaries, Jodrell can deal additional damage to the Pyre. If you got Risk of Rain 2, I'd probably get it. Been meaning to try something different for once. That's from Trouble Twitch in the chat. Yeah, I think Risk of Rain 2 looks really, really good. It's still technically in early access, right? Or am I wrong? Because it's been in early access for like a long time. But it looks like a really, really good game. I actually have a coworker who was streaming it the other day. I meant to ask him about it, because I've only seen gameplay, but I haven't talked to anyone who's played it. It looks like a lot of fun. And then over on this side, we have stuff like any adversaries banished by Jodrell take 30% longer than usual to return. We also have, at the start of a right, your Pyre gains 35 extra health. And then we also have like +4 to presence, which makes her her aura much larger. It's been out for a year. Okay. Because I put it on my wish list way back when, and it was still marked early access, so I didn't know if it had done like a full release. That always weirds me out when games have like a very large scene in early access. I'm wondering if Valorant is gonna go that way, because they've been handing out keys left and right to that game, and like I'm already seeing people talk about like, oh yeah, we're gonna like do a Valorant tournament. It's like, game's in beta. Like, some people, you can't just like go and download it. You gotta like get invited to play. But it looks like a good game, so I don't blame them. So I'm gonna go double dash.
The demon scribe bestows his favor.
And then that's it for power-ups this time around. After the rites, the Accusers disappear into the darkness. As you return to the wagon, in the still night sky, you see a single star burns brighter than the rest, beckoning you onward. Yeah, I had totally forgotten when I played this earlier this morning, like trying to remind myself how to play, that you can fling the orb. I totally forgot that that was a mechanic at all. Well, my friends, what can I say? The rites are real, and we're in. The Getting Out of Here Club. Next stop on the agenda, keep chasing the stars until we're free.
Consilta vidias.
Until we are free.
Consilta vidias.
Until we are free. Here, here, sounds fine. Might as well be us instead of Lendl back there. Ooh, trash talk. Love some trash talk. Anyway, guess we better start packing. As the others go about their business, Hedwyn turns to you.
Liberatus.
Reader, come walk with me while the stars are still out. You and Hedwyn walk in silence for a time before he speaks up.
Pisentirna.
You have questions. Come, ask away. We need you in this for the long haul. So this is really interesting. We can choose what we ask him. How far have I gotten in this game before? Honestly, not far at all. I think the furthest I got before I put it down last time was I got the imp as like a party member. But I have not gotten far at all. So that's part of why I chose this game, because it's like I want to dig into it. I think that this is a great game, and it's a campaign that can hopefully carry us for a little bit of time. And if y'all like it, I will pick up this campaign again in the future. Alright. So we can ask a lot of things. We can ask why he was exiled. We can ask how he got the wagon. Ask why we can't be a part of the rites. And ask what happens if we refuse to help. And you'll notice you'll pass that point today? Yeah, probably. So we can say you are beginning to get the impression that your participation is not optional for this last one. You led your fellow exiles to the rites, yet they have not asked you to participate firsthand. Why? We can also ask about how he got the wagon. The black wagon and its contents belong to a group called the Nightwings. What happened to them? And we can, of course, ask him why he was exiled, because everyone has their reasons. At this point, you would like to know. So, chat, what do you think? I'm going to say 1 through 4. Just put 1 through 4 in chat. I want to know. Because I know what question I usually ask. Alright, Trouble Twitch is voted for 1. Am I gonna get a second one, or am I gonna get another question to ask? Alright, that seems to be it. So we're gonna ask Hedwyn why he was exiled. You ask Hedwyn what he did to get sentenced to living in the downside. He maintains eye contact and his smile.
Some terras.
Good question, my friend. We're going to have a lot of time to discuss that, and many other things. Make you a deal. Read the stars for us again, and I'll tell you about it along the way. You sense he speaks truly as he beckons towards the fading dark above. I like Hedwyn. Hedwyn's a good dude. So we're going to Jomir, the Dusk Star. That's a long way north and west. We'll see if this old wagon's fit for it. Then he turns to the others. How's it going, Rookie? Imps fed, wheels clean. Status, Jody? No sign of howlers. Everything is secure. Good. Then get some rest. We're headed to the spring of Jomir. At dawn, we're off. Alright, so we can talk to people in the wagon. So no new pages, but we do have new dialogue with Rookie. You find Rookie rummaging in the corner of the black wagon. Hey, chum. Know what? It's good having somebody else around besides those two. So, come to think of it, there's something I wanted to get your take on. and you have to promise to tell me honestly. Would you say... What I mean is, He hesitates, trying to find the words. Look, what I'm trying to say is, you sense something serious is troubling him. He moves in very close, making sure no one else is in earshot. It's about my mustache. I've been getting some conflicting reports about it. Would you say my mustache, that it makes me look a bit, you know, unscrupulous? I'm gonna tell him he looks perfectly fine. I love his little mustache. You suggest that Rookie's mustache looks perfectly fine. He grins wide at you. Couldn't agree more, chum. I knew straight away that you're a real judge of character. He looks fake. It does a little bit. To be fair, though, how do we judge how fake a mustache looks on a dog person? Because I don't know how to judge that. He bounds off out of the wagon. Rookie gains one hope for the next right. And that's it for the wagon for now. We're gonna continue our journey. It's not the same color as his fur. Yeah, but like, in the same sense, like, whiskers aren't the same color usually as like cat and dog fur. I don't know. It's a weird world. Climate here in Jomir Valley is hot and uncomfortable. On top of that, we have a stowaway. Home? Can we go home? She must have latched on to the undercarriage as you cross the ridge. Her manner is odd, though you sense she means no harm. I also love the tense music. She must have overheard some of your fellow exiles' conversations. You need but say the word, Hedwin. Oh, come on, you can't be serious, Jody. She's just some kid who managed to climb aboard our wagon undetected. But still. Do it, Jody. Jodrell approaches the girl and looms over her. Listen to me, girl. We cannot guarantee that we shall get you home, or any one of us. But, at present, we have room for you, and adequate provisions. You may accompany us for the time. Jodrell leaves without awaiting a response, presumably to make room in the wagon for your new guest. The stowaway is overjoyed at this. You ought to tell her she can stick around. Yeah. Because she likes sticks. I like that her hair looks like a bird's nest, too. Really? You are so kind. You are most kind to someone you just met like me. May the 8 scribes smile upon you. Alright, so this is... The 8 scribes, we know a little bit already about who they are. They're the people who went to go kill Sully and Myrrh and then eventually joined him in exile. But we get a little highlight here. Some revere them as gods, believing they bound themselves to exile so that others could live free. Centuries of oral tradition have shaped the history of the 8 scribes into myth and legend. She claps her hands, bursts into laughter, and performs some sort of dance. Rookie stares at all of this and leans in close to Hedwig. Hey, so, what gives? First the reader, now we're taking her along? What, we gotta take in every mite-bitten drive imp we find now, too? Easy, Rookie. I think he'd want for us to bring this one along. Ooh, Sandalwood? I thought you said... He asked we find someone to fit every type of mask. Near as I can tell, yours would fit her just fine. He asked that we use our best judgment. Besides, we send her away, she'll go telling anyone she finds about us. We can't risk that right now. So, can I come in? It's very hot, and I'm a little thirsty, and a little tired, too.
Fare grazie, Tam.
Yes, you're welcome here with us. One question, though. What do we call you? Well, this is embarrassing, I think. But I don't know for sure. It's just back home, they called me lots of names, like for the color of my hair. They made fun of you because you got gray hair? That's it, my name. It rhymes with gray. It's just, they called me lots of names. Alright. She's cool. Yeah, I like her. She's referred to as the Vagabond Girl in guides. She does have a, like, canon name, but you can actually pick any of these names and she accepts it. But we're gonna use the canon name, which is May. You suggest that the stowaway girl's name is May. Why, that's it. My name is May. My name is May. Where I am from, they called me May the Moon Touched. But I guess maybe you don't have to say that part, because I didn't really like it. Why is that her canon name? So, it's a little bit weird, but someone basically discovered that when you don't have any data, like, in your game file at all, her name shows up as May in the, like, versus roster. Also, I think I read some posts that essentially said, like, people referred to her as, like, the moon-touched child, and May is the only name that gives you that, like, title with it. So, although a lot of people are very partial to Fae, I would say that actually the first time I played the game, I picked Fae, and it's totally fine. But I think that May, especially like May the Moon Touched, feels right for her character. She's a very spiritual character. Alright, May joins the group. And we continue along our way. Black Wagon arrives in a somewhat peaceful stretch of Jomir Valley. Your companions wish to hole up here for the night to give May and all of you a little time to rest. Alright. So we got conversations to have with May. May seems to be recovering well since you found her. She seems fascinated by everything and everyone in the wagon. Oh, hi, reader. You are the one who knew my name. You guessed it right, you did. Thank you for your hospitality. I've just been eating with the imps and talking to the wagon. This wagon, he and I are the same age, almost to the very day, but I am older by 3 weeks, so I am giving him a hard time. Little brother, I call him. He's a good wagon, isn't he? He will take us very, very far. My little brother, sure, he pulls at my hair, at times, and I don't like it very much, but he is family. I am happy to be here with my family. I thought that I had lost them all again. I thought that I had lost them all. Oh, but we have stopped now, haven't we? Then I should go outside to dance in case the scribes are watching. Bye, reader. She's very weird, but she's great. Smiling back at you, she prances out the door. Alright. And now we get a new mechanic, which is considering our options. Your fellow exiles are taking a moment to unwind. Jodriel motions for you to join them. Best get used to your new life here, reader. We seldom get such moments of reprieve. Perhaps some further study of that book shall pass the time. You could join me for a little stroll if you're feeling up to it. Always something to be foraged around here.
Samisara Sumaila.
Or you could teach us more of what you know. Prepare us for the next rite. In any case, we do what we can to stay busy. Keep the sense of isolation well at bay. Alright. So, here's how this works. We can forage for resources. That adds to our stash of goods. We can mentor a companion, which brings them closer to enlightenment and gives them essentially like levels. Or we can study in private, which gives a small universal boost to our whole team. So I'm going to go ahead and study in private. Alright. You find a relatively quiet clearing to study the Book of Rites with undivided attention. Through greater understanding comes the reader's influence. Again, this is just an attribute bonus that you bestow on all of your exiles. I am going to go ahead and do quickness, because I like to move fast. Concentrate on your knowledge of the 8 scribes and how together they compose the Book of Rites. Among their many feats, inspiration comes to you in a flash, whether from the book or from within, you cannot tell. We got celerity. Each rank raises your fellow exiles' quickness and makes them move faster. Finish studying. Now we can just continue our journey. May seems enthusiastic for whichever route we choose. So, here's how this works. South route across the Jomir Valley is riddled with barren rock and bone. May believes that those who travel this path shall be as swift as Jomir of the 8 scribes. Or we can go up through Glue Hive. The northern route across the Jomir Valley passes the remains of the Hive Titan. May believes those who travel this path shall be as strong as gold of the 8 scribes. So I'm gonna go, since we already got quickness, I'm gonna go through Glue Hive and get presence. May is behaving stranger than usual as you pass through the desolate sprawl of Glue Hive. Scribes, I think they're here. I think that they were here. Can you not feel their presence? It's in the sand, and in the air, and all about. First you pay it little heed, though later you observe your fellow exiles seem to be in better spirits than before. Perhaps it was the previous day's rest that did everyone good. They gain +1 presence. En route to the Spring of Jomir, you hear all about the roving slug market, which appears to be nearby. Ruki insists you take a look after you settle in. Alright, so we got a new page. We also got slug market. And we got a conversation with Hedwyn. So first we'll go for the new page. Alright, the last emperor. How many nations did I scour in the name of Solium Mur? How many countries fell before our spears and blades? Such questions mattered less to me with every passing victory. Our legions swelled across the land, and our dominion grew. The Emperor Solium Mur paid all this little heed. He only tended to his personal affairs. Our legions relished the autonomy. We did not know that the Emperor cared nothing for his legions, nor his people. He cared only for that which was before him. One day he learned of such a thing as to befit his name, and vowed to seek it out. So that's our new page, and Hedwyn has something on his mind. motions for you to join him while his manner is as easygoing as ever. You sense he is searching for the right words for what he is about to say.
Serem tave.
You asked what I did to get thrown in here. Figured I'd tell you. The others know.
Jaheritaremas.
I was on the blood border for several years. So, the blood border. The northern edge of the Commonwealth is a flat and vulnerable expanse. The high-wing remnants seized upon it at every opportunity, from the cover of clouds or darkness. Alright, I was on the blood border for several years, an outrider, no real rank, but a pretty important job. Whenever the harps swooped in, it was up to me to raise the alarm. So the harps. A winged race, also known as the High Wing Remnants, at war with the Commonwealth. They are as coarse as their feathers. They hold themselves superior. One day the harps came without warning. No alarm. It was slaughter. So I heard, because I wasn't there. I was with one of them. Look, that's a story for another time. The point is, they branded me Hedwyn the Deserter before they sent me to live here. I didn't want to fight. I abandoned my post, my friends. They paid dearly for it. I ended up down here. Edwin looks at you as his smile reappears. It's not something I like to talk about, as you can tell. But I know that you've been wondering, and you deserve to know. I made a promise to you earlier, when we first met, that you'd go free as well, if any of us go free. That promise might not carry that much weight, I guess, coming from a deserter. Anyway, that's all. Thank you for hearing me out. There's not much good here in the downside, but at least the past is behind us. He leaves you there to consider his words. So that's why Hedwyn got thrown out. He slept with a harp, and everyone died. Oh man, let's see. What's a good voice for Falcon Ron? Yeah, hey guys. Yeah, how's it going, Mr. Greentail? Been a while and all that. Hey, Ron, how it's going? Say, how come you've set up shop all the way out here? Isn't this a little out of the way? Oh, well, let's just say you guys, you ain't my only customers. You see, Dad and I, we know this business pretty good. We've been all around the block, and so... As Ron keeps blathering, Rookie signals to you in a furtive way. Here's the deal, chum. Got an informant, says there's something here connected to this rights business. See if you can spot it. Should be able to pawn some of our stuff to make the trade. And don't even worry about Falcon Ron. Falcon Ron's the shopkeeper. Yeah, so anyways, you guys got something for me or what? That plain parcel you got there, I could take it off your paws if you want. So we're just gonna trade this plain parcel. Hey, you know, I'll take it, Mr. Greentail, though you drive a pretty odd bargain. Down... Hey, what's up, Master of all Vikings? Thanks for tuning in. Down with the slug war profiteers? Jeez. I don't know if that's a reference to later in this game, but, Now you gotta take something off my hands here, or what? So the only thing we can actually afford is the Mooncrest. There's some other stuff here. So we got like Ashen Coal, Kerfang, Lunar Glass. But we're just gonna grab this Mooncrest and take it. It's a one-of-a-kind thinger you got there. You know, and you got yourself a real good deal from me as well, so thanks.
Right,
And then we can equip it to someone. Apparently, any one of us bozos can get a little edge out of that thing during the rites. I mean, just a question of who gets to try it out. Alright, so here's the deal. The Mooncrest, after being banished by an adversary, the bearer has a chance to return immediately. So, since Jodriel is my, like, big heavy hitter person right now, I'm gonna give it to her. Anyways, Dad over here, his feet, you know, we've been having some trouble with his feet getting real something or other from all the hoofing around. And so, you see, Rookie indicates to you that now would be a good time to depart. See you, Mr. Greentail, and your friend there too. I like them. Seems real nice, you know? Oh, Falcon Ron. Alright. As you complete preparations for the rites to commence, you notice May approaching. You notice, too, that she's wearing your companion's raiments. We can go home?
Mansara.
May, I thought I made myself quite clear that you were not to touch those robes. Oh, sorry, Miss Jodriel. I just thought that maybe you were being funny at the time.
Saventusta.
Unbelievable.
Uliosta.
Hey, something's happening in the sky. I think we're up. Good luck. Thanks, Master of all Vikings. These guys aren't too bad.
Reader, what brings you to the spring of Jomir? Why, it must have been the stars. Although it seems that your triumvirate now numbers 4 exiles.
Also, thanks for
not
everyone
the
for tuning
expected
in.
3.
Appreciate you joining me
The
for
rules
Indie
of the
Game Happy
rites were
Hour.
not created for you to besmirch. Prepare
Hope y'all are
now to
having a good
confront
time.
The fate. They still honor the traditions of the scribes, and surely have been longing for this chance. But first, you have a choice to make.
Alright. Sky burns bright once more as your next adversaries in the rites approach. Their apparent leader is a bent old cur who regards you with a formal bow. At his side is an intense young man. I hail you, exiles of the Night Wings. And am grateful that you chose to grace us with your presence once again. I am called Dalbert Oldar, and this is my son, Alma. We need not greet them, father. We shall face you in the field this night, and may the victor's pyre burn eternal. But first, we offer you a token of good faith, in show of appreciation that the Night Wings have returned. Dalbert approaches you with something in his paw. You sense his motives are sincere as he hands you a small talisman. We receive a Tailwind crest. Thank him and begin. That cur was very kind, and his son, he was so caring, wasn't he? When can we start? I want to help you beat them. We need 3 of us exactly to conduct a rite, but we've got 4 now, besides the reader. This ought to be their call. Someone has to stand aside this time. I volunteer. No volunteering, chum. It ought to be the reader's call, remember? Very well then, reader. Who shall it be?
The rite shall begin forthwith.
So I'm actually going to use May in this. I like May a lot.
May.
Oh, me? Thank you. Thank you for believing in me, because I think the scribes do too. And then, of course, our girl, Jody. Gotta love Rookie.
It is done.
Nightwings, I trust you all are well prepared, for these old eyes yet see that the right shall be commencing momentarily. Are you quite ready too, my son?
Esprage, father.
I hope so, father. Here, now, let me show you. Alright.
Begin.
Ooh.
How far?
Whoop. There we go.
Too bad for that one. How utterly brazen.
Just going for it. Look forth, my son. The waters of Jomir Manymane bring blessings unto us this eve. Perhaps our chance has come at last. We need more than blessings to prevail against them, father. Please, keep fighting.
A boon come from the stars themselves. But shall it be enough for Dalbert and his faithful son? Sublime.
I love Rookie. He's so fast.
Dalbert dispatched with ease. Someone grasp the orb.
Whoa. They're using the pro strats. Getting all up on the, Oh, come on!
Now to the flame.
I'm doing much worse at this time around.
Wherever did the Nightwings go?
Oh god.
The flame is stricken.
Whoops.
Quite the close call.
He just ran into Jodriel.
May plunge into the
There we go.
Your victory is at hand. Yes. done.
And that's how it's done.
Wings prevail. It was a glorious performance, I must say.
Jadario is just so useful. Dunked,
Perhaps you
yeah.
shan't be quite so fortunate next time.
Satava?
Oh, so then we did it, didn't we? Indeed.
Saterestrale.
Kind of feel bad about that Dalbert, though.
Cholarescu Noxalas.
Exiles of the Nightwings, the dawn is yours, and may you earn your freedom.
Haliprale Grandas.
But father, the dawn might have been ours. We failed, and I have failed you.
Je pravesta son fili.
Nonsense. We are the fate. We do what is ordained, and nothing less. Now let us go, my son, for I am weary once again. I like
There is
Dalbert.
much to learn from this experience. It seems the exiled rookie opened
See
up
that,
his
chums?
eyes.
Old rookie Greentail's got some bite in him yet. Alright, cool. So now we get to see some of Rookie's upgrades. So we've got Maneuvers of Many-Mane. This Wright's Mastery's enhancing occurs Agility and Fortune. There had never been occur quite so bold or tireless in spirit as the famous Alpha Chief of Jomur Many-Mane. So this one is he can jump twice, so he can jump a second time while already airborne, which seems pretty cool. And then we also have Glory Dive over on this side, which is Traits of the Alpha Chief. Wright's Masteries enhancing occurs Relentlessness and Fervor. Other curs of his age all needed to learn to navigate the many quirks of Jomir's personality. So we can deal an additional 5 damage when plunging into the adversary's pyre. This is actually, I feel like this is the choice for me personally, because Rookie is really, really good because he's fast and he's pretty easy to maneuver around other enemies, but he doesn't do that much damage. So I'm gonna say that we're gonna go for a Glory Dive, because also this this whole tree is great, where the last one on this tree is after plunging into the adversary's pyre, Rookie soon returns rather than remaining vanished. So instead of like getting a point and then being down to 2 players, we can still have a full 3 if Rookie is the one who scores, which just seems awesome. And then also, like, this tree has, like, we can banish more than one adversary in a single cast. And then also we get 50% further casting. Whereas, like, over here, this is cool, but we get triple jump, a, like, quick return, and faster sprinting. And, like, honestly, he's already really fast. So I'm gonna go
A blessing from the Alpha
this
Chief
side.
himself.
And then we've got May, who did not level up.
Until the next right.
Hello, excuse me. I mean, would you excuse me for a moment, do you think?
Sedame frunta.
You're one of them. What do you want? Father needs me.
Sala haloshiamas.
Oh, sorry, I think that I forgot what I was going to say. I'm so embarrassed.
Lorigase Nirdas.
What is the matter with you? It is against the rights for us to even speak like this.
Satabas Talia?
His dialogue is written a little weird. I did not know that, I don't think. No one said anything like that to me, but then all this, it's very new to me, and so I thought maybe...
Kruse Tarikta.
You cannot be serious.
Shela.
Yes, I mean, I like to laugh. I like to laugh a lot. And you, how about you?
Halibrale Grandas.
This is a Nightwing's trick. Father told me not to speak with any of you. But I
Ah.
have to go.
Bisalia.
Wait, Almer. Wait, I think that was your name. Was that even your name? Wait. Sad. Master of all Vikings. Okay, so you're saying the smart play is to min-max. I don't know what you mean by that. And then you also followed that up with what I did was go, what would Rookie pick? Alright, as you return to the wagon after vanquishing the fate, you notice Jodariel tense up in fear. Where did he go? Ooh, wait, the sleeping guy? The minstrel. He's gone. You see, it's true. There's no trace of the lone minstrel who had been lying still in the corner of the wagon all this time. You join the others and search for him outside. Your fellow exiles have revealed nothing to you of the lone minstrel or how they found him, though you sense their concern as they scour the vicinity for him. We'll worry about the minstrel, my friend. You worry about the stars. Wherever they guide us, we're going. Gotta find our next destination. Which is Hob, the Midnight Star. Everyone, we're headed back east, all the way across the valley. Towards the cairn of Hob, then. Let's see what the deal is with this. The accursed imp here felled the mighty bone titan, Shaq's 6 shoulders. Try saying that 5 times fast. That's right, we have to risk it. What if that minstrel guy doesn't turn up by then? We shall find him, on this night or another. They continue searching for some time, however, the minstrel is nowhere to be found. Alright, so now that May is part of the team officially, she has a scribe catcher. Edwin wants to talk to us. After having overcame the fate with ease last night, you find Hedwin off on his own. You sense he wants to talk to you about your decision to exclude him from conducting the rite. I guess we'll have some tough choices to make before all this is over, my friend. Just been thinking about that. I'm glad you let the others go instead of me during the rite. I mean that. All the more since we succeeded. I don't know what's more intense, participating in the rite or just watching from the sidelines. Anyway, thank you for checking in. I'm off to go make sure we're ready to move. He departs to check on things outside. You sense that he has no misgivings about what transpired and is more concerned at present about the missing minstrel. So we're going to continue. There is still no sign of the lone minstrel, although Jodariel tracks potential signs of movement east the same way you are headed. You consider where to search for him. So, Fall Flat, the south route. Hedwin thinks the missing minstrel could have taken the route opposite to the one you took, or the north route, the way we came. Jodariel believes the missing minstrel must have taken the same route you took earlier. I'm just gonna go ahead and do Fall Flat. As you travel through the stark badlands of Fall Flat, Hedwin seems more ill at ease than usual. There's no sign of the missing minstrel. Sorry about this, Jody. I had a hunch he must have come this way. Would that our hunches could be more dependable. But do not fear, we shall find him yet.
Siauda hunte.
Sounds like a hunch to me.
Na facre spere.
More of a promise. Pick up bits and pieces of the minstrel's significance to your fellow exiles. He was there when they first discovered the Black Wagon, but they refused to say much more for now. That's the thing I find so interesting. The minstrel was just like hanging out in this buried wagon and appears to be just an immortal figure. Stop the wagon. What? How come? Because of her.
Orana.
They're coming. They're coming for us. We have to be ready. We have to.
Pare cantus.
Does she mean what I think she means?
Averade.
I believe so. Your fellow exiles scramble to prepare the wagon for whatever is out there. Once you help them settle in, perhaps you can learn more of their source of concern. We do not have wagon conversations this time around.
Nasigna haram.
They are coming for us.
Masere culpa.
They fear the scribes. They fear the scribes. I know they do. What's she talking about? What's going on?
Iram. Taritam.
Howlers. Lots of them.
Sikapi Valta.
Then, what are we gonna do?
Masere culpa.
They fear the scribes.
Male de fortune.
Calm yourself, May. We shall give them reason to fear us as well.
Nasivaram kieras.
We'll use the raiments and the books.
Accettava.
Indeed. One of us can draw them out under the reader's watch. Shall be just like one of our rights. Edwin turns to you.
Amare daros.
Seems we need your help with this, my friend. We just need a volunteer to go with you. I will do it, reader. Please, you have to let me and the scribes. They will protect me. I know they will. Jodariel exchanges looks with Hedwyn. Each of them nods at you as if to signal their approval. Alright, guess we're fighting some howlers. Toggle aim assist in the options menu. Nah. We don't use aim assist. That howling sound. It means they're here. Oh, by the scribes, they're here. Alright. This strikes me as just such an odd, like, sequence. Oh. More, I think there's many more. Oh, here they come, here they come. They're also actually really hard to see from my perspective. I don't know if they're easier to see for you all. But they're like really tiny. Oh. Is it over now, at last? It is. I think it is. Oh, those poor and wretched beasts.
Huh?
Just then May spots something creeping towards her. Who? What? Huh? I don't really understand that sequence. Like, I guess the idea is to make you better at casting. The howling subsides as your fellow exiles scramble out to check on May. You find her in one piece, along with an unfamiliar little face. Screehee! Isn't he the best? Can we keep him? Screehee! Do y'all really need me to do the voice lines for the drive imp? Because that's going to get real weird real fast. You sense a depth of experience in this creature, at least judging by drive imp standards. In fact, you feel a connection to him. If you concentrate, perhaps you can derive some meaning from his calls and screeches. Squeaky. Alright. Drive imp seems both excited and frustrated by something. You sense some pattern in the drive imp's screeches. He seems welcoming of this. Drive imp seems to have history with your black wagon. You are beginning to understand him. The drive imp recognizes you as the new reader of the Nightwings. He is pleased to meet you. You can now understand this unusual drive imp. Drive imp seems satisfied after having gotten through to you, and you explain to your companions what little you have learned of him so far. No one argues against letting the creature come along. Inside the wagon, the other drive imps stare at him with something like reverence. Drive imp joins you. He seems to know his way around. So we get to welcome him aboard, and he is our new team member. And this is our only new conversation. Drive imp has something on his mind. You can see the little imp has made himself at home. He rushes right up to you. Your new imp companion seems very pleased with the wagon. He indicates he was able to find you thanks to the swarm of howlers. He has no love of howlers, and they know not to mess with him either. He plans to set up a nest that should ward off any further trouble from them. He looks forward to the road ahead with everyone and believes it shall be worth it. He seems to be saying he is happy to be back where he belongs, and he urges you to keep going. He bounds off towards his brethren, settle in the wagon's rafters. Alright. Continue our journey. We can apparently only go through Licksand. Your new imp friend seems insistent that you take this path bearing east. He's a very interesting character. Edwin orders the wagon to a halt somewhere in the dusty wastes of Jomir Valley. There's someone on the road. Be careful, everyone. Figure watching the black wagon from afar approaches, arms spread wide, although a hat and cloak conceal the figure's features. Then the imp rushes out toward whomever it is. The imp is very riled up at the sight of whoever is approaching, though in an almost joyous way. Tizo! So that's our old drive-in friend's name. It is good to see you, and you found the others even faster than I expected. So we found our minstrel. The imp called Tizo appears very pleased. The lone minstrel turns towards the rest of you. Hello, we have not met, but I know who you are, or who you must be. I return as promptly as I could. Have you walked with the scribes themselves? Because I think maybe you have.
Mensariamita.
Hello indeed. You had us worried there when you took off.
Tomraje krado.
I should knock him back into his slumber. I do not aim to cause you such concern. As soon as I awakened, I had to notify my client that the Nightwings have returned. Your client? Ah, yes, my client, Sandalwood. He is your point of contact, as I understand. You did not find his wagon by mistake.
Certave keras.
So, what now? You continue down the path. That is why I am here. When we meet my client, he shall explain. For now, you have a job to do. I assure you that I shall not interfere. But I mean to accompany you. Would that be all right? Edwin and the others exchange looks.
Keramitakuste.
Welcome back, minstrel. You got a name? I am sometimes called Tariq. It is a pleasure to meet you, Nightwings. The lone minstrel returns to the black wagon. Alright, keep going. Keep on trucking. Cairn of Hob is a foreboding sight. It is here that the next rite is soon to commence. Reader, if you have a moment, once we are settled on these grounds, I wish to speak with you in the wagon at your leisure. And there's more Slug Market. And we got a new page. Alright. So, the White Lute, the lone minstrel Tariq's musical instrument, with which he chronicles great deeds through song. We'll talk to the minstrel first and then do the new page. The lone minstrel seems to have situated himself in the wagon. He is very still, not unlike when he was sleeping. Reader, I shall keep this brief, as you shortly have a rite you must conduct. You have read something of the Book of Rites, which means that you may know something of my nature. On the contrary, you know not what he means, and he soon senses this. Forgive me, I spoke too soon. Suffice it to say, I have served the Nightwings for some time. Conduct the rites with glory, and you shall achieve what you seek. The lone minstrel nods farewell to you and steps away. And now we get to read a new page. Alright, the rope collar. I knew it was a fool's errand, but my liege, he would not listen. He instead insisted to pursue a certain treasure, a celestial orb, freshly fallen from the heavens in the reaches of the downside. He would be a living legend if only he could grasp it. Whispered in his ear that calmer rope collar, his elder and most trusted aid. Would that I slew that man myself. His was a simple and yet brilliant ruse to draw the Emperor farther still from his responsibilities and towards his greed. Thus did the Emperor begin an expedition into the Forsaken Lands. He insisted that he go himself. Alright. So the lute, I believe, plays any song from the game that we have so far. So we can play Forbidden Knowledge. Nice little tune. Yeah, and we haven't unlocked some of these yet. Hear the Lone Minstrel's theme. Hear May's theme. Let's hear Falcon Ron's theme. I actually kind of love the Slug Market theme. Sorry about disappearing. I was doing homework. Don't worry about it, Trouble Twitch. Do your homework. Do what you gotta do.
Mo, pagkasin fries.
We're just here to hang out, have a good time, be casual. No stress. Yo, hey guys, fancy running into you this side of the sand. So what can I do you for? Ron, how'd you make it all this way ahead of us? Yeah, come now, Mr. Greentail. Can't just give up all my business secrets, am I right? What I can do, though, seeing as you've been such a good customer and all, is provide for you a sample, a little something you might like. Here, check this out. Seeing as you bought that Mooncrest thinger from me last time, why, I'm thinking you could use this. I got more if you want. We received a pinch of stardust, which raises the rank of certain talismans by +1. Thank Ron for the sample. Alright. I like that he just, like, makes weird groans and laughs in the background while you're doing all of this. Alright. So, what are we looking at? So we got Ashen Coal, which at the start of the right, the bearer's pyre automatically gains 7. That seems okay. We got a Cur Fang. When plunging into the adversary's pyre, the bearer deals a bonus damage +2. That's like fine. Lunar Glass, when carrying the orb, the bearer moves faster than usual. That seems really, really good. I wish we could afford it right now, but not yet. And then a lucrative contract. After banishing an adversary, the bearer gains 1 gold. Up to this many times per right. 10. Cool. That's kind of cool, actually. I'm gonna go ahead and buy that. And buy some extra stardust. Yeah, I know you're going to like that stuff, guys. It's pretty woo, you know what I mean? And if you want some more now, I know just the individual and his dad who can get it. Catch my meaning, yeah? Just stop on by some other time.
Bye, Tyson.
Did he just say Mike Tyson? Falcon Ron is so weird.
Mom, Santa Claus.
Alright. So now we can give... Oh. Okay. I intended to come here to give people talismans, but now we got some cool stuff. Alright, so, Headwind the Free Spirit. He is a nomad. His past is an outrider. His astral sign is Lenariel. His crime is desertion. His motive is insurrection, and he has been exiled for 5 years. It's very interesting. I think I'm gonna give Rookie the lucrative contract. I also think I'm gonna upgrade the Mooncrest. Well, that doesn't seem that great, actually. What does the lucrative contract do? Then we can gain 11 gold. And then this doesn't do anything? Huh. Okay, that's what it is. That one gains an extra quickness like every couple of levels. I'll go ahead and do that. Alright, commence the rite. You and your fellow exiles gather around the sacred site known as the Cairn of Hob, anticipating the hour that the rites are to commence again. All is quiet for a time, and then... from out of nowhere charges a gangly cur. He stops short and gives you a mighty sneer. Psst. That's Barker Ashpaws. Real piece of work. Just don't make eye contact. Oi, well, would you look at this lot? Even got one of our own consorting with the two-leggers. You're a disgrace there, mate, you realize? Good to see you, Barker. You're looking well. Didn't know you knew about the rites. Oi, I know about a lot of things, my friend. For instance, I know you're gonna be very, very sad after we wipe the floor with you here. Do we all hate that voice sufficiently? It's not going anywhere. Don't know whose back you scratched to earn yourself a spot in the high and mighty Nightwings there. But I am gonna make sure all of you regret it, because why not? Sounds good, sounds good. The cur Barker laughs away as his pack stumbles after him. You hear them howling and cackling as the stars above begin to glow. So these guys are actually, if I remember correctly, pretty tough. They are super fast.
Welcome, dear reader, to the
And the best theme music, yeah,
tragic
they do have that
tale of
sweet
Abu.
punk rock vibe going.
You shall find the downside grows
I don't know if
less
I've talked
pleasant
about
from
this on
its
stream
point.
yet, but I am actually a very big punk
There's
fan.
a tradition to uphold. This time you stand against the Dissidents. Even now they hunger to defeat you. Perhaps not simply to regain their freedom, but to deny you yours.
I also like this team because it's like their motive is not to gain freedom. Their motive is to keep other people from gaining theirs. A lot of these types of games have a bunch of outcasts grouped together as characters who eventually come face to face with the people who rejected them, eventually becoming the heroes of their respective peoples. Yeah, good observation, Trouble Twitch. I again, like, I don't actually know this game too deeply. This is a like, I think I've gotten a little bit further than this particular right. But I don't know actually how this game turns out. I've just heard very good things, so I'm excited to explore it. But I do like that kind of trope of, like, a lot of outcasts that eventually are the group, you know, and become kind of these, like, almost mythic figures. As the stars shine down upon you, the pack of curs you stand against this night continue hooting and howling. Oi, come on, you lot. Let's boil some blood. Then Rookie pulls you aside. Look, chum, I don't know how to say this, but I can't go against these guys. Just trust me on this one, okay? You sense he means it. You make a mental note to ask him about his history with Barker whenever time permits. It's alright, Rookie, we can take care of them. Begging your pardon, but if you need another to stand at your side this night, I have someone here whom I would recommend. Do not be coy with us, minstrel. Don the robes if you intend to stand with us. Oh, I did not mean myself. The rites are not for me. I was instead referring to this little one. Yeah! Yeah. Creature wearing tiny raiments appears at the lone minstrel's side. It's Tizo! He seems to be volunteering to take on your adversaries, the Dissidents.
Kirama.
Absurd. The imp knows the rights. He knows a great deal. So long as the Night Wings stand together, you shall be at their side. Though you need not take my word for it. Tizo, our adversaries seem to be preoccupied. Perhaps you might quickly show our comrades what you can do. The little imp peers at you. You sense his connection to the rites as he awaits your guidance. So Tizo is really interesting to play with. Alright, he seems excited. Reader, influencing Tizo might take some getting used to. He is inviting you to try. Alright, so
And a mere imp.
he can fly
No, it cannot be.
for as long as his stamina
This new partnership of yours.
allows. He can also zip around like that. And then he can do this. And he returns after imploding. And that will totally banish enemies. I like that you can kick these little platforms around. That's fun. I like that. Alright. So that's Tizo. Tizo is happy to lend his support during the rites, if you could use his help. Alright, so now we gotta make some choices. We got a lot of people. So first things first, I actually really like May. I'm gonna choose her first.
Shiru-sama?
I'm gonna pull this off of Ruki. Gonna give it to Tizo.
Tizo. Dariel. It is done.
Alright. Tizo is ready to prove himself. Time's up, you swill. Come on, boys, let's get him.
Now begin. Now take it.
Marali?
The Night Wings assert themselves thusly.
So I feel like that's kind of the trick with these guys, is like, they're real quick. You're not gonna outpace them, but you can totally use your powers to your advantage.
Their fire sputters.
And just,
Tizo takes the plunge.
And then you can just fly away, and they can't do anything about it.
Righteous fire.
I like May because that power jump is super, super useful. Alright, you lot, that does it. No more fussing around, right? My boys and me, we're proper angry now. They're just so weird.
Careful now. Your adversary Barker there seems rather fired up. Whatever shall you do against so fierce a
Whoop.
foe?
I'm gonna lose some points here.
Flames grow weak. And it is done. The night
They
winds
can
prevail
eat
yet
it.
again. Accomplished effortlessly, I
Crushed
might
'em.
add. The right is ended.
I actually really like Tizo. He's a little weird to get used to. But he's a good character. Oh wow, I thought, did we just win? Did we just beat them? Tizo is excited to have prevailed in his first fight with your group. Well, well, I'll be a heaping ball of dung. But I just can't believe you shoddy lot showed us the what for like that. My boys and I will have to take you just a tad more seriously next time. Till then, just be sure to tell old Rookie Greentail that yours truly, he remembers everything, you hear?
The right
So there's clearly some history there. I feel a little bad for leaving Headwind out, but like, he's a really good character, but he's just so like balanced that like, I don't have a lot of impulse to use Headwind, you know? Alright, the scribes, they whisper for me. They do from time to time. Alright. Let's look at maze trees. Alright, so we got Tricks of the Rope Collar. Rights, Masteries enhancing a savage's deafness and trickery. None could predict or outsmart Calmer Rope Collar. Chief Aid of the Emperor of Saw. The Grand Trader's Leanings. Rights Masteries enhancing a savage's aggression and persistence. The Rope Collar was an idiosyncratic man whose interests he kept to himself. So we've got Snapcast, a brief charge-up time before May can cast her aura is greatly reduced. That seems pretty useful. And then over here we've got Heightened Reflex. The brief charge-up time before May jumps or sprints is virtually eliminated. I don't actually know which one of these I would prefer. Let's look at the rest of the skill tree real quick and see like what the deal is. Alright, so while sprinting, May slows nearby adversaries. Interesting. We've got Trader's Flight. May jumps and power jumps further than usual. That seems useful. False Step. If May is banished while jumping, she shall instantly return at the origin of her jump. That seems really, really good. Also, I love this little description. You shall conquer that river and much more, my lord. Calmer Rope Collar's last words to Solium Mur. Alright, and then over on the other side, we've got Quick Fling. She flings the orb faster and further than usual. That could be very useful, actually. Sudden Grasp. When saluting her adversaries, May automatically leaps towards the orb if no one has it. That seems okay, but not If you like jumping Mazier Bay, yeah, for real. Alright, Dark Vigor. While grasping the orb, May sprints and jumps without using stamina. Oh my god. Wow. Okay. That is... Okay. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. Master of all Vikings, you seem really tuned in to this game in particular. This tree seems way more useful, right? Like this set of 4 here? Because it's just like, do everything but faster. Or like, do everything without stamina. Like, casting and flinging is faster, and then like, also, you don't take up stamina. Yeah, it's all efficiency. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna go with Snap Cast for her. But those jumps though? Nah, Snap Cast. I'm going for it. Alright, Tizo feels solemn respect for the rites and all their myriad complexities. So this is where things get real weird. Tizo, I think, has some of the more interesting skill trees. So we've got Secrets of the Accursed Imp, Rites Mastery's unleashing an imp's latent and somewhat terrifying power. The diminutive imps of the downside turned out to be much more resilient than they first appeared. Then over here we have Flights of the Swallow, Rites Mastery's enhancing an imp's utility to the rest of his triumvirate. Without the aid of Hob the Swallow, the fallen Emperor Solium Mur would never have survived. So, if banished, Tizo drops a moon sign allies can instantly transport to from their pyre. That seems pretty good. When saluting his adversaries, Tizo turns into a fast-moving howler or back. Cool. If banished, Tizo automatically casts his Implode ability if he does not possess the orb. And then Star Sign. If banished, Tizo drops an improved moon sign that boosts allies' speed and stamina. Then over here we have, while fluttering or zipping, Tizo moves much faster than usual. After casting his Implode ability, Tizo returns much faster than usual. Tizo's Implode ability can banish adversaries in a much wider area. And finally, Tizo deals an additional 10 when dousing the adversary's pyre. I don't know, this one's tough. I really like the idea of using transformations. I also like this like auto cast of Implode. But I think I would rather do this tree for Tizo, where we just get faster movement speed, Implode is wider, return sooner from Implode, and then additional damage. That feels good.
'Tis the influence of the Imp Scribe. Until the stars align.
Splendid was your guidance of the Nightwings, reader. Your fellows are fortunate to have found one such as you. May you find the freedom that you seek. Oh. Thanks all again for tuning in. Hope y'all are having a good time. After thwarting the Dissidents in a rather one-sided contest, you return to the wagon to recover from the night's ordeal and figure out how to best proceed. You alright, Rookie? Think so, chum. I just need a little time didn't count on Barker being caught up in all this. You don't owe him your conscience. You'll sort things out with him. You always do. I do not wish to interrupt, but the dark of night is waning. Reader, would you join us outside, please? You find Jodario and the lone minstrel gazing into the sky above the valley, which is beginning to grow pale. Big green star. So this is Millith the Bog Star. Then it is as I feared. We are to press further north, beneath the valley into Flagging Hands. Flagging Hands, a gloom-filled, desolate region of the downside beyond which lies the sea. A fetid sprawl of noisome, festering, unpleasant adjectives. Basically, a disgusting swamp pit. The scribes are watching over us. They will protect us wherever we should go. Had you been to Flagging Hands, you would not say such things. The scribes have surely turned their backs on that place. If I may, the bleakness of Flagging Hands shall wear upon you. To be sure, I urge for you to take what rest you can, for you shall need your strength upon the road ahead. Your fellow exiles agree to turn in for the remainder of the night. At dawn, you shall have to press deeper into the downside. I think we're gonna do this like the stuff in the wagon here real quick, and then after that I will sign off for the evening. Let's talk to Ruki. You can tell something is troubling Ruki, though he seems relieved to see you. Hey, chum, listen, I got a level with you real quick. You remember Barker, don't you? Not exactly easy to forget, though, believe you me, I try. Well, he's got me by the scruff. I've been down here a little while, as you can see by now, but Barker, he's been here longer. He's made quite the name down here. As for me, I needed help, you understand? I had a certain standard to uphold. So I figured he would be the one to ask. Then Ruki hesitates. Then his familiar grin returns. So what if I owe him, though, right, chum? I got people back on the other side, and just between us, we're loaded. I mean, rich. My little problem with Barker, soon it's gonna take care of itself, just as soon as my people send the money through. So, I am telling you right here and now, you don't even have to worry about it. I'm sure everything that on that front is going to end up real tidy real soon. With that, he scampers off before you can respond. It seems Ruki owes a debt of some sort. What is on the line exactly, you are unsure. And then we get to look at Tizo's little nest. Various scraps and things laced together with bits of ribbon and fabric, topped with a plush fish. Oh, it's got a little plush fish. That's so cute. All right. Well, well, well. That about closes out our happy hour. But it's been a pretty good stream. We went like almost 3 hours there so far. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Did y'all enjoy Pyre? I really hope so. I would actually like to continue this game if y'all are enjoying it. Like your slug voices, man. Thank you. It's been a while since I did any significant voice acting, so I'm just kind of messing around with this game, but maybe we'll do some cool stuff in the future. Yeah, but I hope you all enjoy it, and let me know if you did, because I would be totally happy to continue playing this game, either for future like indie game happy hours, or even we could make it one of the playthroughs for the channel. When will you be back on? So I'm gonna be back on Wednesday, is the plan. You can find the stream schedule. I did update it for this week, down in the little panels right below the stream. Additionally, if you go and follow the Twitter, I try to announce what the stream schedule is going to be like for the week on like Sunday or Monday. So on Wednesday, we'll be back with a little bit of a special game. I'm going to be playing Pokemon Showdown, because I used to play competitive Pokemon. New sub! Yeah, so I'll be playing Pokemon Showdown. So that's the deal there. I'll be showing off some singles formats on the Smogon singles formats. I'm not usually a VGC player, but I got a lot of teams loaded up. I dropped off at about Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. That was kind of the last meta that I played. And so we're going to be digging into Sword and Shield metagame. And I'll teach you guys a lot about that. We'll probably be playing Monotype as my specialty. So I have a Monotype team for almost every Pokemon type. So we can dig into some of that. But I also made a few Little Cup teams, because Little Cup used to also be something that I played a lot. And then we got some OU and some UU, which are generally the most popular singles metagames for Pokemon Showdown. So that'll be Wednesday. And I will be probably playing some music in the background. Hopefully the Spotify extension will be picking up what we're playing so that y'all can kind of listen along with me. So that's Wednesday, and then I don't know what Saturday's going to be yet. I'm thinking we'll probably do Bloodborne. But not thoroughly decided yet. I do have to do some prep before the next time we do Bloodborne. So I want to get some runs in on the next few bosses that we're going to be taking on, so we don't have another blood-starved or Gascoigne situation in that case. So yeah, that's the plan for the rest of the week. I'll also be working on the editing backlog and uploading that to YouTube. Again, I said this earlier, I had a little issue uploading to YouTube this week. So I have 2 or 3 streams that are edited and ready to go that I've been sitting on that YouTube was just like giving me trouble when I was trying to upload. So hopefully we can get to the end of the backlog at kind of the end of this week. But yeah, so that's what the week is looking like. Let me know what you think of the changes. I changed a lot of the formatting for the stream, a lot of the layouts. I added some panels with some info about me. I also added the stream schedule down there. You can also find the links to the stream Twitter and the stream YouTube. So please follow the stream Twitter for any information regarding that. Any information at all regarding the stream, it will go there first. And then the YouTube, you'll just get notified every time I put up an old stream. So if you missed one and you want to go back and watch it, you'll be the first to know. So please go and follow those accounts. In addition, I have a suggestion box down there. So you can drop ideas, feedback, games you might want to see, anything like that. Go ahead and feel free to drop it in the suggestion box. The way it works is I will read it and approve them, and then people can kind of like or dislike a suggestion so that I can get an idea of what y'all as a community want to see most. You look kind of like Van Gogh if he was a conquistador. Thanks. I like to say that I haven't shaved since probably early quarantine. And I like to say that I'm just gonna let it grow out until I become just this horrible quarantine wizard. So that's the plan right now. I also am, like many other people, wishing that I had gotten my haircut in February. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, so that's what the week is looking like. Feel free to give me some feedback in the suggestion box, and please, thank you so much for tuning in, and please follow all of the accounts here so that you get notified every time I go live, and any info on the stream, you'll be the first to know, because everyone here has been super, super great and dedicated to the community, and so I really appreciate that, guys, and I want you all to know that. It feels really, really great to have so much support so early on. So thank you so much again. And with that, we're gonna close out for the evening. So, thanks everyone for watching. And, oh, I think we got a new follow? Or is that a new sub? Well, thank you to Destructa Overwatch, it looks like, or Destructa OW. I'm trying to extend your notification here in Streamlabs, but it's not letting me. Thank you so much, everyone, for all of your support. And I'll see you on Wednesday. So, look forward to that. Alright. Night, everyone.